Welcome to Talkin' Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. LSU is the next chapter in Arkansas's toughest schedule in the nation this season. The Battle of the Boot is in 3 days, and joining me now via phone is Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Bob, thanks for taking the time to join us on the phone today.
Sure, no problem.
Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about Arkansas has not won an SEC game since October of 2012. What's different about the atmosphere in Brett Bielema's second season? Now they're 4-5 through 9 games. Are things more hopeful now?
Yeah, I mean, the fans obviously want some SEC wins, and Brett's, I guess, 0-13 now, and the streak's reached 17 games, which is kind of hard to believe that anybody could lose that many straight SEC games. Well, I guess Kentucky lost 17 in a row, but they got to play Vandy to break that. Arkansas didn't get to play Vanderbilt. Arkansas plays the West, unfortunately, for them. But, yeah, I think everything, you know, anytime it's a coach's second year, I think everybody's more comfortable. The players know what the coaches expect. The coaches have a better feel for what the players can do and how to best get the most out of them. And I think their talent level overall is up. They had a pretty good recruiting class. They still don't have the depth that they need to really be an SEC contender, but they're getting closer to that. And they got some pretty good Louisiana kids. You know, they're recruiting Louisiana hard. So, I mean, there's no doubt Arkansas is better. You just look, the previous 2 years they lost to Alabama 52-0 each year. This year is 14-13. They probably should have won that game. Alabama was a little off, had some problems, but so there's no doubt Arkansas is better, but it's not being reflected in the record. Partly because they're playing such tough teams, and then partly because they still can't quite get over that hump.
Right, and in statistics alone this season, they are improved in almost every category through 9 games from last year to this year. But looking at the LSU game, Bob, besides the run game, which we've talked about, what should the Tigers be most wary of about the Razorbacks?
Well, probably the weather, although I don't know if that has to do with Arkansas. But I'd say Arkansas, obviously on offense, the run game's their strength. On defense, probably it's up front. They've got a pretty good front four. Trey Flowers, their senior defensive end, is a really good player, probably be a pretty high draft pick. Darius Philon, a kid from Mobile, is a really good defensive tackle, redshirt sophomore. So, you figure this game is going to be one in the trenches. And Arkansas had an open day while LSU had that brawl with Alabama. So, I think it'd be interesting to see who can run better on which team, because I think both teams are pretty strong up front. And then obviously the strong running games. And with the weather, the running game may be more important than ever. But I think, it's going to be interesting to me to see how Arkansas's run defense can hold down all those good running backs from LSU, if they can contain them at all.
Most definitely. LSU definitely leans on the run game, as we've seen this season, to try and produce offensively. Well, Bob, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate you taking the phone call today.
Okay, no problem.
And thank you for watching Talkin' Tigers. See you back here Thursday.